What is going on, guys? It's Arrow back at you with another video today, and today I'm going to be sharing with y'all a cliffhanger video. If you don't know what the cliffhanger format is, you are allotted 17 points, and certain Pokemon are put into different tiers that are worth different point styles. So there's the 9 point, the 5 point, the 1 point, and the 0 point tier. Today I'm going to be doing a video showcasing a team built of only the 1 point tier, and Lucario is a main part of my team. I also paired Lucario with Toxicroak, Noctowl, Fortress, Lantern, and Steelix. Lucario is one of the most underrated Pokemon in PvP. He only really had 1 month to showcase his tournament skills. And so we're going to be jumping into this battle, and I just want y'all to watch how well Lucario does. Our first challenger will be against OkaIceman, and his team is going to be Wishcash, Wigglytuff, Tropius, Defense Deoxys, Poliwrath, and Magneton. So that team is really solid. Ignore the Raichu and the Golbat on screen. I do not actually have a Defense Form Deoxys to just make a little picture of myself and just put it on there because I was lazy during EX trades. I'm looking forward to him coming back next week, actually. So we're going to be getting into these first battles, and we're going to be leading off with Lucario, Steelix, and Fortress. And sure enough, he leads right off the bat with that Wigglytuff. So we lose this lead hard. We're going for that power-up punch, and we go ahead and get it off. And it's going to do a lot of damage. And these counters are doing a lot of damage as well, but it was an ill point. So we switch into Fortress. We get a little bit of lag, but no big deal, right? We're trying to bug bite this Wigglytuff down. He's going to end up getting off a Play Rough, and Play Rough is going to do quite a bit of damage, even though it's resisted. So he brings in Magneton, and we're going to go for Earthquake, and we're going to switch into Steelix immediately. He's going to switch out into... Well, no, he's going to be using this Zap Cannon and switch out into Tropius. And at that point, the match was pretty much over because there's not much I can do in this point. Steelix doesn't do well against Tropius in any shield scenario, even when you're up. So it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. We're just going to continue Dragon Tailing away. He just charged up a ton of energy. We're going to go ahead and shield this first charge move, and it's going to be a Leaf Blade, and then the second charge move is going to be an Air Lace, so we do not go ahead and shield because we think it's another Leaf Blade, and we know we need to save our shields for Magneton, so we go ahead and lose round 1. So we lead Lantern into Magneton, and this is a great lead. We have Fortress and Steelix in the back. So we're just going to be farming away at this Magneton. We know it has Zap Cannon, so we're not really afraid of any charge moves. We go ahead and shield that Zap Cannon because it would hurt. He's going to be bringing in Tropius, and we're going to go for a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's going to be doing a reasonable chunk of damage here, and we're going to be just staying in, letting Lantern faint out, and going for another Thunderbolt here. We switch into Fortress after the Thunderbolt comes in, and Thunderbolt and Fortress versus Defense Deoxys is a good matchup. We go for the Earthquake, and I believe he's going to shield this. The Bug Bite is going to be doing really good damage against that Psychic typing that Defense Deoxys carries. He's going to be getting off the Rock Slide, and we get off a Heavy Slam. He farmed a little bit of energy. I think he farmed too much, in my opinion. He's going to go ahead and shield. We're going to switch into that Lantern, and we're going to go ahead and let whatever attacks are coming in come through. Psycho Boost, it's going to be okay. We bring in the Steelix, and perfect, he's using a charge move immediately. That's going to do nothing, because Steelix eats all of Defense Deoxys' charge moves. It's actually a relatively good matchup for Steelix against DD, and we're going to finish off that match. So in round 3 of this best of 5, we lead Toxicroak, he leads Poliwrath. We're going to go ahead and get off a few counters. We're going to eat this power-up punch because it's not very effective, and we're going to get a Mud Bomb. He actually has the Legacy variant of Poliwrath, and that's going to be doing a lot of damage to me. I switch into that Fortress, and we're able to get off a lot of damage, and we're going to be throwing Heavy Slams at this Wigglytuff, which that switch-in was very iffy, because Wigglytuff does do a lot of heavy damage to Fortress, but it it doesn't win this matchup. We're going to be getting off a heavy slam. He's going to get off a charge move, and we're going to be shielding it. Ice Beam goes shielded. We're going to Bug Bite that Wigglytuff down. Back in comes the Poliwrath, and we're going to be using a few Bug Bites to get rid of the Fortress. And he switches into Magneton, which I couldn't do anything. That Magneton might have fainted, might not have, but it didn't really matter. We brought in the Steelix to finish off the Magneton, and Steelix's Dragon Tail is going to be able to do enough damage to knock off not only this Magneton, but it's going to be able to get rid of Poliwrath. I saved these shields in case Poliwrath ended up being able to get off another Power-Up Punch, because that would have been able to KO us better than anything that Magneton was throwing. So Steelix comes in against Whiscash in round 4, and this is just an instant switch into Noctowl. Not the best matchup, but it could be a lot worse. So we're going to be going for Sky Attack against whatever comes in, and it's Defense Deoxys. So we're not hating this matchup, but it could be better, because Defense Deoxys does have a lot of charge moves that can hurt Noctowl. And Rock Slide is one of them, so we're going to be letting that Rock Slide through. We go for another charged attack, and we're doing okay here. So we're going to try to shield this. We click shield, right? We lag a little bit. We're just like, okay, we're mutual lag. How'd I die there? Oh well, it's not too big of a deal. We bring back in Fortress to farm out some of that Defense Deoxys. He's going to be bringing in that Whiscash. We're going to be eating that shield, and we're going to be eating another shield, eating that Mud Bomb. So now we're tied on shields, and Whiscash is a Mud Bomb machine. It's going to be getting Mud Bombs left and right. We go for the Earthquake here, thinking it's our only chance against Whiscash. We're going to let Fortress faint, thinking maybe we can get enough with Steelix to feint out this Whiscash. We're going to shield the first Mud Bomb. He's going to end up getting to a second one before we get to that Earthquake that we wanted to. And Steelix is going to take a heavy hit of damage here. He brings in Tropius, and that's it. That's all she wrote there, guys. His Tropius is going to be able to Razor Leaf us down, and that's going to be the end of round 4. So in the first best of 5, we are going to game 5, actually. It's going to be very, very good gameplay here. So in the last best of 5, I bring Lucario trying to catch that Whiscash lead, and sure enough we do. This isn't the best matchup because I'm still super weak. I'm still super effective damage from his fast moves, but it doesn't matter as much. And so we're going to be shielding this Mud Bomb, and Lucario is going to be able to farm out the rest of this Whiscash. We're going to end up shielding again. We're going to throw a Power-Up Punch, hoping that we get the shield. And we do not get the shield. We go for another Power-Up Punch, just to power up this Lucario as much as we can, and we don't get the shield. So we're just going to switch into Fortress, and that Fortress is going to be able to tank this Aerial Ace without a problem. And we're going to Bug Bite this Tropius down all the way. He's going to be switching into Whiscash, I believe, and Magneton. So we are going to go straight for this Heavy Slam. We're looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and let this Fortress faint down because there's no reason in saving it. Magnet Bomb doesn't do it all the way. We're able to get off another Heavy Slam. And we're going to actually get... This is going to go unshielded. So we switch into Steelix, knowing that it's a good matchup against Magneton, but a bad matchup against Whiscash. So in comes the Whiscash, in comes the Lucario. It was fast, guys. It was counter, because it was already super powered up. So for the first match against Salickitung, we are running the same team, and he actually is running a different team. He's running Altaria, Probopass, Lapras, Clefable, Whiscash, and Blossom. So we lead the Lucario again. And same lead strategy here. We kind of hoped that he would bring that Whiscash as the lead because we saw how damaging it was doing against us in in the match before. So we are going to be able to feign out this Wish Cash with a 2-0 shield deficit. So we're going for the power-up punch here. And we're going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. And I believe it's going to get shielded. So we are now able to bring in our next Pokemon, it being Steelix, into Altaria with a 0-0 shield. He switches into Blossom, we switch into Fortress. It's going to be a beautiful match from the rest of the way here. We don't really have to worry about anything. We're able to feint that down with Bug Bites alone. He's going to be getting off a Sky Attack, but as we said earlier, we got Heavy Slam coming in here, and we have Steelix in the back. This is going to be pretty much a cakewalk for the rest of this first round. Salickitung is one of my better friends. He's from the Austin area, and he's a really good, nice guy. Really solid battler as well, one of the top in Texas. So in round 2, he's going to come back with a vengeance, guys. This man did not like how that last match went, and we're going to be leading with Noctowl. He leads with Clefable. That is a bad matchup from the start. The charm damage that Clefable is doing is just, that move's so powerful. And so Noctowl is going to be getting these Sky Attacks off, and Clefable is just going to be charming me down. We're not going to shield this attack. There's no reason. He goes for the Meteor Mash. I bring in my Fortress. And Fortress is able to do a lot of damage to this Clefable. We're going to do a lot of Bug Bites to feint down this. And we're just going to charge up a bunch of energy and switch into Steelix. Trying to just do as much as we can. Steelix is able to eat that Meteor Mash, and we're trying to charge as much energy as we possibly can with Steelix. But look how much charm damage I just did. I'm already in the red. So now we have a fully charged Steelix, and he's bringing in this Wish Cash. I'm hoping I can draw a shield out here. Sure enough, nope. We go for the Earthquake, and sure enough, we don't get a shield, but we are able to get it through, but that little low battery mode notification hurt us a lot. Yeah, so guys, if y'all are following anything in this match, you know I'm about to lose really badly. Doesn't matter what he brings back in. We go for an Earthquake on this Lapras that comes in with pretty much full health. He goes ahead and shields it, and that's GG's. I have no energy on my Steelix. He's going to be able to surf that looks like a -1 health. So he's going to get us out of there with his Lapras. And now the series is going to be 1-1. So we're going into Game 3. And he didn't stop in Game 3. Game 2, he was ready for Game 3 as well. So Game 3 is going to be a little bit different. I believe I'm going to be bringing my Toxicroak, and he's going to be bringing Altaria as a lead. Yikes, guys, that's a bad lead. So we're going to just, what do we do here? I think we brought double fighters here in this one. We brought Toxicroak, Lucario, and Fortress. Yep. So we bring in Lucario. It's pretty much a moot point at this point. He already has won this game. But we're going to talk about why we think we lost this. And it was clear because of the lead. We switch into Fortress to eat a Sky Attack. And Fortress just eats attacks better than Lucario could. He's going to be using a Mud Bomb here. And we're going to go for the Earthquake here. And we're going to get off a decent amount of damage if this goes through. But it doesn't go through, guys. And now we can not shield at all. We have to not shield that. We go for the Heavy Slam, which we were surprised we were able to get to anyways. And that's going to do decent damage. We switch into Lucario. And sure enough, he's already thrown a Mud Bomb. And he throws another one. And that's just he's gone. And so is Fortress. So now he's up 2-1. And yikes. So a lot happens in this one, guys. So y'all might want to pay attention. Great lead. All the way back to Kingdom Cup days. He has to switch out immediately. I don't want to switch out of this matchup because I know I need to take out this Wish Cash. And I know I need to shield. We get off the charge move, and we're going to get a lot of damage into this Wish Cache. We're going to shield again. We're fine with losing this matchup, losing the shields here. And we're going to get that Wish Cache out of there. We're going to throw a power-up punch into whatever comes in, and it's going to be Altaria. He's going to not shield. We switch into Fortress. That's a key thing there. We switched into Fortress. That keeps him from switching out and lets us do quite a bit more damage to his Pokemon. So we're going to be bringing in the Fortress, and we're going to be getting off Heavy Slam after Heavy Slam. And I want y'all to keep in mind, it keeps my Steelix in the back for that Altaria, which that's a huge thing. He goes ahead and goes for the Surf, because I probably would have gotten to another Heavy Slam there. And we bring in Lucario. We had that Power-Up Punch ready. We never clicked that switch. So he's going to Surf our Lucario. I told him that had happened. And after the outcome of the match, him knowing I had a fully health Steelix in the back and that I would have knocked his Lapras out, we agreed mutually that would have been 2-2. And so it's still a really close match if you look at it, because I'm able to Dragon Tail this Altaria down, and I'm trying to get that Earthquake off, but he comes in with a Lapras with health, and that's the difference. His Lapras got the charge move priority, so we're going to Game 5. And I believe we're going to be running about the same team. We end up running Lantern, I believe. Maybe. Or we run the same team and just hope. We switched the order. We switched the order so that I was running Fortress first. That makes a lot more sense. And we're hoping to catch maybe a Tropius lead, a Clefable lead. Like, that would have been really detrimental to our Lucario. So we're going to catch that Clefable lead, and we're going to be going for this Heavy Slam. And surprisingly to me, he did not block. So that's going to be doing a lot of damage to that Clefable, and we're able to get that Clefable out of there without using any shields and only losing half of our health. That is huge, guys. That is huge. So he brings in Lapras. That tells me he doesn't really have a good answer to this Fortress. So we're going to be getting off Heavy Slam after Heavy Slam. We're going to go ahead and let this Fortress go, knowing we have it covered. We have that Lapras covered with Lucario in the back. And it's going to be Wish Cache in the back. And I'm so glad that I am able to stick in this matchup. And I actually don't have to use both my shields here, I believe. We go for the Mud Bomb. He goes for the Mud Bomb. We go for the Power-Up Punch. And we're going to be doing a lot of damage here. We switch into Wish Cache so we don't have to shield. No, we switch into Steelix so we do not have to shield. And we're going to be Dragon Tailing this Wish Cache down. And we're just going to eat these Mud Bombs. There's no point. We get the Wish Cache down, and we're going to be using an Earthquake on this Lapras, and that's going to be doing the job to knock it out. And that's going to be the end of the second best of 5. So in the third best of 5, we were facing SagitarianWolf, and his team is Lantern, Swampert, Gallade, Wigglytuff, DD, and Charizard. And that Charizard scared the mess out of me, but I still led Lucario. And Lucario versus Lantern, that's a really good matchup for me. Lantern just so slow to those charge moves, and it's just not going to be able to do much against Lucario. We go ahead and get that Power-Up Punch off. He's going to be switching into Defense Deoxys, and we switch into Lantern. We know that Lantern's Water Guns just does a ton of damage, and we can eat some shields. It's pretty much free damage against Defense Deoxys. And we're able to not shield, which that's the main reason we did this. We try to force some extra damage onto that DD, but it does not work. We switch into Steelix. No matter what he's throwing, no need to shield. Look how little damage that did. And now we're going to be Dragon Tailing that DD down, and we're going to be getting a Swampert coming through. And we switch, and we get an Earthquake off. He's going to go ahead and shield. We switch into Lucario and get off a Shadow Ball. That Shadow Ball is going to finish off the Swampert immediately. And Lantern comes back in, and we're able to get a Power-Up Punch off to just eradicate that Lantern as well. So that's going to be round 1. Ended with 2 shields. It was a great match. So we're going to go into round 2 thinking, what can I do differently in round 2? We're going to have a mixture of Fortress. I believe we bring back Lucario. Lucario and Lantern, yeah. Fortress, Lucario, and Lantern. It's a great matchup here. Lucario and Lantern pair well together with Fortress, especially being able to handle the grass. So, the main thing that worried me about his team was that Charizard. Charizard handles my team pretty well. And I did not want to be facing it. And I'm super glad he never brought it. So we lead Fortress into DD, and that's a good matchup for us. We're happy with this. Bug-Bite's going to be doing a lot of damage, more than that counter's doing to us, and we're able to go ahead and let shield stuff come through and hit us. He switches into Lantern. We had a little bit of lag. We go for the Earthquake. And I believe we either get a shield or we get that Lantern out of there. We get a shield, and we switch into Lucario. We're going to shield this. We're going to be getting a bunch of energy here. We go for the first power-up punch. I believe he's going to let this through. Yes, he does. And then we get this Lantern up out of there. So, Lucario is pretty much fully charged as far as you need Lucario to be fully charged. We go straight for the Shadow Ball, and he doesn't shield. So, we're able to continue to farm down on this team. He switches in DD, and that's why this matchup with DD is just god-awful. We can do as much chunk damage as we can with Fortress, and then we switch into Lantern to just do as much chunk damage we can with fast moves. There's no need to shield anything really, but we're going to shield the second attack, and we're going to just finish him off with fast moves. And he finishes the match with 1 shield F. So in the third round of our best of 5, it's going to be kind of a mixture of the same. That Honchkrow really wanted in my lineup, but it's going to be Lantern, Steelix, and Lucario. We're hoping that we can catch that Charizard in the lead, but it's going to be a Lantern versus the Defense Deoxys. And this is a decent matchup. It's not the best case scenario, but it's definitely not the worst. Lantern has good coverage with just Water Gun. That neutral damage hits a lot. And I'm going to go for the shield to force a shield. Go for the Thunderbolt to force a shield. He does not shield. That tells me I don't need to shield anymore. And I'm able to feint him down with straight Water Guns now. He's going to be bringing in his Wigglytuff, and that's just, like, gone. He switches out. I switch into my Lucario. And Lucario is going to be able to beat Lantern with the 2 shields every time. We're just going to farm up the energy and save the charge moves for Wigglytuff when we know that Charm does that much damage. We're going to get this power-up punch off, and we're going to get a second. We tried to get a second one off, but those counters did so much damage. We actually go for a crunch, which was kind of risky, and it does a little bit of damage. We're going to go ahead and shield this. He still has a shield, I believe. And we're going for another crunch. And that's going to be doing a shield. And we're able to win the race to the Earthquake. And that's going to be the end of the third best of 3. You can make teams out of any tier in this league, in this meta. I'll be doing a team over the tier 3, which is only the 0-point teams, and I'm working on building that team up right now. I have some ideas for y'all. I mean, it's gonna be an exciting team. Y'all are gonna like it. Anything else? If you're scared of this Cliffhanger meta, the only reason you should be is you don't know what other people are going to bring. I liked running the team that was Fortress, Steelix, and Lucario. I'm super weak to Charizard, or any fire type, but you just have to run that knowing that you could encounter a fire type. And I might do another tier 1 only team, but my next video will probably be only a tier 0 team, 0 point team, and I'm thinking that this meta just involves a lot of creativity, and a team like mine that's only 6 points can beat teams like that are 17 points, 16 points. It's just a really good, it's how you team build, it's the strategies you come up with, and that's why I really am enjoying this Cliffhanger meta. So if y'all liked the video, please leave a comment, subscribe. It's been Arroh, guys. GG's.